Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannon's Insurance and National Parts Depot. Hello and welcome to another incredible episode of Classic Restos. Of course, not possible without the continued support of Shannon's Insurance. Why not pick up the phone and give Shannon's a call on 134646 for a quote and a whole lot more. And speaking of major sponsors, I'd like to give a big warm welcome to a newest addition to the Classic Restos family, National Parts Depot, based in the United States of America. There is no doubt that Shannon's Insurance offer us just so much more as an enthusiast, such as a 10% multi-policy discount if you add your home insurance to your current car or bike insurance. And if you think you're with a better mob, you better look into it because you might get a shock. Shannon's are there for us, for the enthusiast. Shannon's are run by enthusiasts. It's a fantastic recipe. Check them out online at shannons.com.au. When it comes time for parts for your American classic car, why not try National Parts Depot? There's 3 million parts for you to choose from, and they freight to Australia and New Zealand every day. Check them out at www.npdlink.com and you'll get the surprise of your life. On today's show, this event would make Walter P. Chrysler a proud man. Before us, the world's largest Mopar event. Welcome to the 2013 Carlisle Chrysler Nationals. You know, it doesn't matter if you're not into Mopars because the car show that you love may be on a different date. There are just so many shows to choose from here at Carlisle. But over these next 3 big days, it's Chrysler's, and for that matter, everything Mopar related. How cool are these cars? No other vehicle manufacturer was bold enough, or even came close to producing some of the most outlandish, full-featured mechanical marvels in the boldest of styles. Chrysler Dodge was the host of the Hemi. In the 1950s, nothing else mattered when it came to performance. And in the 1960s, the 426 Ramcharger, along with the 426 Hemi, ruled supremacy. In fact, there were only 2 types of racers back then, the guy that owned a Hemi and the guy that wanted a Hemi. But it wasn't just all about power. Chrysler made the least number of cars, but had the coolest ideas. Warner Brothers were paid $50,000 by Chrysler in the late 1960s for exclusive use of Coyote and the Roadrunner to sell cars, and it worked. Sell cars today with a cartoon sticker on the door, and you'd be out of a job. Come with me now as I try and show you as much as I possibly can over these next 2 big episodes of an event where over 3,000 Mopars congregate, the 23rd Annual Carlisle Chrysler Nationals. First Mopar of the day, we have Chuck. How you doing, Chuck?
How you doing, Fletch? Very well.
Good, mate, good. Chuck, that's a strong American name, Chuck, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. In Australia, that's what happens when we drink too much beer.
Oh, yes? Yeah. Is that true? Also the American United States also.
Now, why we've picked on you? Well, 69, GT Swinger, a Dart, original condition, factory correct. It's just the type of car that just pops out as soon as you get near it. Okay, now tell us the story with this car, Chuck.
Oh, about in the 2009, we finally finished it. It took us 7 years to do it prior to that. It was a project that my father and I actually got to work together. And he was not an auto mechanic. He didn't work on cars ever.
But he did with you, right?
He did with me. We allowed him to retire. And when he retired, on my days off, I'm a professional firefighter. And on my days off, him and I worked on the car together.
Now, Chuck, being a firefighter, anything to do with the colour that you went for?
Possibly. I love the red. I just love the red. This particular 69 color was just beautiful. It pops, like you said earlier. It really makes it fun to drive.
Now, Chuck, with this particular 69, what I love about it too, a 340. Now, they're starting to get a little bit rare. It's actually close to home. As you know, I've got the replica car at home as well, a GT Sport, a 69. And to see them over here in the United States, it's like as though you're just in your backyard at home.
Yes. Yeah, it's a little difficult to find the motor to put it together to get everything right.
Yeah.
Even here in the States, it's still tough.
Well, and I found the same thing. I mean, my car isn't a matching numbers car, but look, it doesn't matter as long as you restore them right. They look good, they drive good, they're all new, they've got new parts. You know, what more can you do, Chuck?
And a lot of the parts that are on this car are 40 years old, because you can't get them new, and it makes it. I like it because it makes it more of a challenge. Yes. To build the Mopars nowadays, because they don't make the parts. You got to either make them, or you got to get them refinished.
Now, Chuck, on the floor hump there, on the transmission hump, we've got the Hurst shifter. It's a stick car as well, so I mean, bit of fun there.
4-speed, yeah. That makes it fun to drive. It makes it really you can stretch it out. You can chirp second, chirp third. You can do whatever you want, and it makes it just fun.
Oh, that's awesome. I love the interior, the original grain, door trims, the seats. Everything looks just so nice. I love the little bit of chrome there around the headrest. Just highlights the interior. You look outside around the top of the vinyl roof. Love the wheels. All the steel wheels that got thrown away years ago, and the guys put mags on, and now everyone wants them back again.
Yes, they do. I've also got the steel wheels for the dog dish hubcaps, and I've also got the simulated mag version hubcap.
Great catching up. You're really nice. Congratulations. You're the first car on the show for the Classic Restos edition here at Carlisle. The Chrysler Nationals for 2013. Well done.
Okay, thank you.
It doesn't get much better than this in terms of the special category. 1968 Charger, which would have to go down as probably one of the sexiest body styles that Dodge ever made, and of course a 426 Hemi 4-speed car. Where do we go from here? How long have you had it?
I bought it last September. The car was all repainted when I bought it, but it was in a million pieces, and I've been working on it since September, putting it back together.
All right, 426 Hemi up under the hood. Have a look at it. Absolutely beautiful. The monster engine. It's the elephant engine. I mean, it's absolutely huge. I mean, back in its day, it really did rule supremacy. There's a lot of engines around that, in stock form, that make as much power, but there's something about the Hemi, though, isn't there?
Yes, it is.
It's great to see an original interior as well. Just beautiful.
Yeah, it's original interior. Car has roughly about 23,000 miles on it. It's a pretty well loaded car, and with power steering, power disc brakes, power windows, and yet it's a radio delete car.
Yeah, that's right. It's amazing when you look at the price of the radio. In most cases, it cost more than a Positrack diff. That's great, mate. Thank you very much for having your car on the show. I really appreciate it. That's all right. Don Juan, you got a big bad boy here, a 62 Dodge Dart, 413 Ram Charger, cross ram intake. Oh man, there's no stopping you.
No, not at all. This is one of the cars, actually one of my favorite in my stable.
Yeah. You must get a lot of people approach you to want to take photos and just be around it.
Pretty much, yeah. I haven't had this one here in quite some time, but yeah, it tends to get a lot of attention and awards when I do bring it here.
This style went down as either love or hate. I think they ooze charm. There's so much class around the front and the lines around the front of the tops of the fenders, and the way that the waterfall grille comes down. I just think that they're a great design.
Yes, I think so too. I mean, a lot of people look at them as librarians' cars, but you know, I think there's something to be said when you treat them like as a Max Wedge super stock style, and they go a long way. And there's not a lot of cars that look like it at the shows, and I like that. I don't want to be just one of many Camaros. I want to have something that's slightly different.
I'm exactly the same way. I think the same. There's nothing librarian about this car, though. You look underneath, there's more pipes down there than in a tobacco store.
Yes. This actually has switch outs, so I can change it to a shorties or long. So it makes a big difference in the sound when you do that, when you switch it out.
So what's the time for the quarter mile ET? What does it run?
Oh, I have no idea, but I think it's probably 12. Yeah, I think it's a 12-second car. Yeah.
You know, what's so nice too is to interview a guy like this with such an awesome weapon of a car, and he doesn't even know the ET. But that is, I mean, I respect that. I appreciate that.
Okay, I appreciate it too, but I'd rather not break anything. I put a lot of money and time into it, and it took 2 cars to build it. I don't want to break anything, so.
Don't want it to Dodge. I think you're going to have to do something pretty dumb to bust something.
Pretty much, yes.
Thanks, mate, for turning up today. Cars like yours on the paddock in the super stock class representation. Absolutely awesome. Love it. Thanks for turning up.
No problem, and thank you. I appreciate the interview.
I hope you're really enjoying the 2013 Carlisle Chrysler Nationals here on Classic Restos. Of course, thanks to my major sponsors, Shannon's Insurance and National Parts Depot. Back with more after this. There wouldn't be a Mopar enthusiast watching these episodes that don't know who this guy is, Mr. Norm. For those of you that don't, Mr. Norm had Grand Spalding Dodge. 1963 was the inception of the dealership, #1 Dodge dealer in the United States of America, and nobody sold more cars than this guy. How you doing, Norm?
I'm doing great, Fletch. How you doing?
I'm great. You're looking good.
Hey, you're looking too good too with your new haircut.
He loves that. I had my hair done because I know I'm going to run into you.
Yeah, I want to know who did it. I'm going to go get that done too. I want that youthful look.
So what's your thoughts on this year's event, Norm?
The events are going very well this year. There's a lot more interest in it. Well, you know, when the economy picks up, things get a little better. The economy's got a lot more to move, but I see a big change in it. We're getting a lot of rain, but the enthusiasm is there because we're doing half the time, and we're, in a lot of cases, selling out of a lot of memorabilia. And so, you know, that raises the level of what's going on at these shows. The people are getting back to work, and the first thing they go back to is to their car shows, which I don't blame them. This is their life.
Absolutely, and it's a reflection too on the professionalism of Carlisle events. I mean, really, on a world scale, this is just, it's got to be the tops, hasn't it?
Well, it is the tops. There's no doubt about it. The facilities here, the management here, they're great guys. They know their car business, the help that they got here. They know they got, you know, it's a class act, the whole place. Go, you know, starting at the grandstands and the restaurants and, you know, whatever they have here. It's the right thing.
Certainly is, and it's a great place to showcase what you did so many years ago. And I don't think there would be a Mopar enthusiast watching this that doesn't know who Mr. Norm is. And to think that all that work you did back in the 60s with Grand Spalding Dodge, all your sales brochures here, and it's all lined up for people to get a hold of. I mean, it's just great stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it is. When I did things back in the 60s and 70s, I did it to sell more cars. I didn't sell it saying that I'd be at shows and being recognized by so many people around the world here, but I'm having a good time.
Well, you were the #1 stockist of Dodge cars from Grand Spalding Dodge back in the time. I bet the thought never crossed your mind once that in 40-odd years from that point, you'd be selling more brochures than cars.
Never even dreamt about it, my God. I never thought I'd be in drag racing, and look what happened. We're running one of the top cars in the world. But you know, it was a lot of fun. And now I got the shows that we go to. You know, it keeps me active. It keeps me trying to get youthful. The years are adding up on me, but I'm trying to fight it.
No, that's all right, Norm. You'll never grow old, mate, while you keep doing this. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
We've got a 1970 Superbird here.
Yes, 1970 Superbird. Originally a 440 car, now 426 Hemi, Ray Barton.
Okay, well, it's good, you know, in a way, because we've got such a stunning car to look at, non-matching numbers. So it doesn't always have to be that way, does it?
This is almost an everyday driver. This sees a lot of road time. Yeah.
What was it like when you got a hold of it, Doug?
Well, the car was, the previous owner had it for 12 years, did a lot of the body work. It was in primer when I purchased it. We took it and repainted it, got it all painted. You can eat off the bottom of this car. It's as nice on the bottom as it is on the top. Unfortunately, he had a 426 Hemi that he sold with it that was supposedly all built, and it actually had the pistons in backwards. So when we
pistons in backwards. Conrod's coming up through the rocker covers.
A Hemi,
upside down.
A Hemi's got a big dome piston on it, and needless to say, it banged the valves and broke everything. So
I mean, really, someone putting together a 426 Hemi, wow. You'd think they'd know better.
That's for sure. But,
Doug, tell us about the first owner.
The first owner was a radio station out in New York, and the DJ was Cousin Brucey. He's still on Sirius Radio. Back in the late 70s, well, I guess early 70s, mid 70s, he took this car around and did demos, drag raced this car actually against other DJs. I have actually a photo of it at home where it was actually the pace car in a road course racetrack. So it's got a lot of unique history to it.
Good on you, Doug. Nice chatting with you for the show, mate.
Thanks, Fletch.
Love the wing car, mate. Keep up the good work and your efforts in preserving it.
Thanks.
One very special part of the Carlisle Nationals, to me personally, is to get into the survivor's tent. Now, this represents cars that have left the factory, basically haven't had a spanner put on them since new. It's quite an extraordinary category, this. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thanks, Fletch.
How are you? Good?
I'm great. This is the best place to be.
Another good thing too about the tent, no matter what the weather is outside, you're okay in here.
And the car.
Absolutely. Now, Mike, tell us about this Cuda.
Well, I got it in November, and it was owned by a gentleman up in New York State until 2005. And then it changed hands briefly a few times, basically was flipped from a dealer, and I saw it on eBay, and I saw the originality of it, and I just had to have it. I mean, the original owner had incredible detailed records about it, and I just knew that the car was very original, so that's why I wanted it.
An original 4-barrel 340, well, not that they came without a 4-barrel unless it was a 6-pack. The car level in its entirety is awesome. Inside, the trim level, beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, every detail, all the bright work, the chrome, the trunk has original moldings, and all the foam around it is original. It's just the gentleman really took care of the car, and I noticed that because I'm a Mopar guy, so I saw how original, and that's why I was attracted to the car.
Good on you, Mike. You've got a time capsule here. Isn't it awesome? This is great. Thanks for being on today's show.
All right, Fletch. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks. Still in the Survivor's Tent, a very special zone here, 2013 Carlisle Chrysler Nationals. How are you, Heidi?
I'm fine, Fletch. How are you?
Good, thank you. Tell us about your Roadrunner.
It's a 1969 and a half A12 Roadrunner with a 446 pack.
The racing look, don't you love it? The fiberglass hood up there on the 4 struts, black steel rims, narrow tyres, a whole heap of mumbo up front. It's just incredible. How often do you get out and drive it yourself personally, Heidi?
Maybe so often in the summer, but we try not to add too many miles to it.
So tell me the history. Where did you get it from?
Well, the funny story was it's originally from Massachusetts, and we actually found it in Florida 4 years ago. And we are from Massachusetts. And a friend of ours called us. We were down there on vacation, and he says, "There's a Roadrunner for sale up in Stewart." We said, nah, we're not interested. Yeah, but it's got a fiberglass hood. Okay, we'll be right up and take a look. So we went up, took a look. The guy had only owned it for like 4 months, and he just wanted to flip it, wanted to get rid of it. So we bought it, brought it back to Massachusetts.
Engine-wise, have you done anything mechanically to the car?
Nothing. Done nothing to it because, like we said, it's all original.
Heidi, the interior is amazing too. I mean, I guess these cars, if they're put into if they're wrapped in cotton wool and they're looked after, this is what's going to happen. But it's an absolutely brilliant example.
Yeah, it's nice. The old guy that owned it, he only drove it on good days, back and forth to work during the good summer months. That was about it.
Heidi, driving around in this, there'll be no such thing as a bad day.
No, I know.
All right, great catching up. Thank you so much for sharing your car with us. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Heidi.
Thank you very much, Fletch. Nice to meet you.
Oh, well, I hope you're really enjoying Classic Restos. Now, if you are, the DVD boxed sets are available at classicrestos.com.au, along with other Classic Restos merchandise, as well as information on the major sponsors. Make sure you support them wherever you can. They are fantastic people to deal with, and they're waiting to help you. Go to classicrestos.com.au. Don't go anywhere. Back with more after this. You know, the Carlisle, Pennsylvania region is absolutely spectacular. The scenery and places to go are second to none. If you'd like to work this in conjunction with one of your favourite car shows, well then perhaps you may consider a Fletch tour in 2014. We're taking expressions of interest right now. Send me an email via classicrestos.com.au. All right, with me now, we have the media specialist here for Carlisle Events, Mike Garland. How you doing, Mike?
Good, Fletch. Welcome back to Carlisle.
Thank you very much. How many times? You know, I'm losing count, and that's nice.
Yeah, it's been, this is
Don't start counting.
third year at Carlisle, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm done. 5, 6 shows? Okay. It's like riding a bike, though. You never forget.
Hopefully many more to come, huh?
Absolutely. We know we're going to have you back for another show in the future, Corvettes at Carlisle. But right now, the Chrysler Nationals. You love this. This was your first show in 2011 with Carlisle Events, and it's all come full circle.
Well, it's a great honour to be at the world's largest Mopar show. And when you team it with you guys, a great management staff, lovely people to work with, you guys have got this nailed.
Well, and our slogan around this place is the cars, the people, the excitement. And the cars bring the people and also generate the excitement. And it's something that, hopefully your audience can experience one day by coming to Carlisle, Pennsylvania in the United States and being able to see not only this show, but some of the other great shows that we have. And this particular show, like you said, largest all Mopar show around. We have a huge swap meet. So if you're restoring a car, this swap meet at Carlisle is the go-to place. And it's not just the cars. We bring Hollywood stars on site with Sonny Schroyer, Enos from the Dukes of Hazzard, the John Carpenter movie Christine, 4 cast members from that movie here. We don't just park cars in a field. We bring the excitement as well.
Mike, always great catching up with you, mate. I want to thank you also for your hospitality too. You always do a great job looking after the Fletch. It does mean a lot. Thank you very much. This guy takes me into his house. He cooks me dinner. He does a lot of stuff. He's a good fella. Thanks, buddy.
Well, I don't cook you the dinner. I just put the plate in front of you. My beautiful wife does all that work. But the rest of
Mike,
it's true.
Mike, it sounded good. You should have just ran with it.
Right. I call me Wolfgang Puck. Right. No, my wife does all the work, and Fletch and I have all the spoils.
That's it, mate. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, with me now, we've got Sonny Schroyer, Enos from Dukes of Hazzard TV show back in the 70s, the show we all grew up with. How are you, Enos?
Pretty good, Fletch. Good to see you, buddy.
You haven't changed, you still got the same clothes on.
Oh, I'm sucking it in. It's hard to suck it in when you're 78 almost.
Oh, really? Goodness, mate.
This is the original hat, though. Is it really? And the reason it's got a hole in it, or a split in it, is it wasn't my fault. I was watching Daisy and I hit a tree. I'm sorry.
Well, I can't knock you for that. Enos, tell me, what was it like? What was it like on the sets and working with John Schneider and the gang, like putting that TV series together? I mean, I know it must have been a lot of work, but was it a lot of fun as well?
Yes, it was. You get up in the morning and, of course, you'd study for the scene, and I didn't have much to do, I was there in the first and there at the last, when Sheriff Roscoe arrested them and turned them over, to the jail and everything. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
There were plenty of 1969 Dodge Chargers wrecked in the making of the series. Did they wreck a lot of cop cars too?
Sheriff Roscoe did a lot of wrecks. And I did some fender benders too, I believe.
Did you ever get up to some pretty high speeds doing the TV show?
We did some dangerous little stunts, but I saw one the other day. I was running down the hill in Disney Ranch, and I couldn't stop. It wasn't my fault. I just couldn't stop going straight down the hill, and I ran across the road, and I dropped my walkie-talkie, and right behind me is the stunt man with the car. Says, zoom! I could have gotten killed. I didn't know I could have gotten killed until about 30 years later. I could have gotten killed. Yeah. Possible on a gun, but think of the Duke boys. I thought.
Now that must bring back memories, Enos, when you hear that.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, look, nice catching up with you. It's been an honour.
Well, wait a minute now. You're not leaving me, are you? Did I make you mad?
No, not at all. No, but otherwise it's going to turn into the Enos half hour.
Love you, buddy. God bless you. Right. Tell everybody in Australia we love them.
Well, I hope you really enjoyed today's episode. The 2013 Carlisle Chrysler Nationals here in Pennsylvania, United States of America. And on next week's show, there's another episode coming your way. Now, classicrestos.com.au, that's the website that you need for the DVD boxed sets of the show and other Classic Restos merchandise available as well. While you're there, check out the major sponsors as to how they can help you. They're waiting to hear from you. Now, as I say at the end of every show, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like Classic Restos on Facebook. Facebook.com/Classic Restos TV. And episodes can be seen at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannon's Insurance and National Parts Depot.